Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second home matchup of the season between the Centennial Colts and your Loyalist Lancers. My name's Stephen Schill, alongside John Strowski, looking at the rosters, and particularly last year, the Loyalist men's team coming into the year at 9-9, and Centennial at 13-5. So we'll see if Centennial comes out swinging this year, as they're currently 2-1, and Loyalist at 1-1, as we're going to see Karel Poye de Guzman kicking things off. They popped up right away, set right down the middle of in the back row. Hill gets a hand on it, but ultimately going to drop for Centennial. Points for Lucas Cudero, who is, in fact, within the top 5 in OCAA for kills at 30.
Yeah, and quite the play there from the Centennial player. And now number 15 is getting the serve. Cordero sends it up. And number 4 gets blocked. Number 3, Ryan Doe with a big block there. 2-0 for the visitors.
And again, Ryan Doe at 5'6", getting up there in height. Getting some extra excitement afterwards as well. So Cordero getting another shot here. Colts are up by 2. It's going to be too far.
That one's going nowhere. 2-1 now for the visitors, as number 14 gets to serve. Liam Hill from Stratford, third-year player out of St. Michael's.
It's in the air, ball's over, initial touch, going to be put up from Doe. He just goes to the side of the Lancers, and Westerman's there to put it away.
Yeah, that was beautiful by number 4, Jacob Diefenbach. Now we're tied at 2 here. Getting to serve again is number 14, Liam Hill.
Hill and serve to the side, pop up for Zivo Nonovich. But the Lancers come steaming right back after being down early.
Yeah, 3-2 now in this first set for the home side. Getting ready to serve once again is Hill. And that's not going anywhere. It'll be tied at 3 now.
Zivo Jinovic. Hill pops it right down the middle. Guzman's there over to Callahan. Make no mistake, gets the kill.
There you go, 4-3 now. Loyalist with its first lead this afternoon. And Callahan with a big play there on the kill. And getting to serve now, number 13, Westerman.
Westerman is over. It's taken by Corpai. Close side, Delaware. Lance's attempt to pop that up is Callahan, but ultimately going to drop for Centennial's point.
Tied at 4 now, getting ready to serve number 10, Michael Korapi out of Vaughan. And this Centennial team's quite young, only one third-year player on their roster, comprised of mostly freshmen here.
Hill on the first touch, Karel de Guzman right over to Simon Cannon, who's there, and again, back-to-back kills for Loyalist.
There you go now, 5-4, Lancers retake the lead.
Jacob Diefenbach back to serve, who is one of the rookie players for Loyalist, but cracking that starting lineup and was mighty impressive in the game that we saw against the Surge on Wednesday. They popped up by the libero and Rodriguez. The far side, big swing from Cordero that goes off the block, but as we mentioned earlier, again, Cordero within the top 5 in OCAA for kills and showing his offensive prowess yet again as the referee calls for one of the Colts players to come over, maybe cheering a little bit too much after the whistles.
And tied at 5 now after that one.
Bring up Ryan Doe. Get out a monster block a few points ago. Over the net, Sylvester gets it. Poye de Guzman back to Diefenbach. Popped up for Cordero. Doe. Both side in Delaware, you could hear that smack off the block, but does fall on the side of the Lancers, so point for the Colts.
And yeah, that was a nice chance at a block there, but the point will eventually go the way of Centennial. Bit of a lucky bounce there as number 3 serves it. Doe. Ball's up. Someone looking for the kill. That's number 4 Diefenbach, and it's hit by Doe. Here's 15 trying to tip it over. He gets, it stays in play. Wow, what a play by number 3 Sylvester. And that's blocked by Callahan. Quite the rally here. That'll hit the roof out of bounds. And a well-earned point by the Loyalist Lancer men's team.
They received a quick back-to-back here of a couple rallies, and both teams really setting stuff up. We're not talking about too many ricochets, just some good kills, and the Lancers don't playing a part in it. And we'll see Callahan, whose first year with the Lancers was last year, was a vital part. I believe he only played in the second half of the season, but immediately had an impact on the squad that was 9-9. And looking to improve on it this year with one of those spinner serves.
And Callahan with the serve goes to the libero, and Rodriguez looking for something, but he throws the ball in frustration. That'll be 7-6 for the home side. Now Callahan's turn to serve once again.
Too heavy on it. Obviously, the spinner serves always take into account. And again, in general here for the OCAA, missing serves is something that can't happen for these teams. Obviously, it's one of those things coming out from Callahan where if you do get it, sometimes there's the opportunity for that ace. But on the other side here, it's Delaware with an absolute laser.
What a serve by Delaware there. That was beautiful, textbook. And that'll be an ace for the visitors. 8-7 now in this first set.
Good to have that missed serve. Gives the Lancers a little bit of breathing room. And what we saw in the ladies' game a little bit earlier was a continuation of a tied game pretty much throughout every single set. And it looks like that might be the case here early as the men's team looks to take on the Colts. Cannon. Foot of his firm popped up from Delaware. Goes right down the middle for a tap. Diefenbach's there for it. Doe puts it high. Delaware is the setter to Cordero, who puts it out.
Yeah, it's way out, and Lancers will regain the lead after that one, 9-8. Getting ready to serve once again is Cannon.
Delaware on the first touch. Doe puts it up close side.
Oh my goodness.
Zivo Yinovich. Wow. What some height. I mean, watching him just go up for that one was truly spectacular in person. Not sure if it shows as well on the live stream.
There you go, 9-9 after that big point for the Centennial Colts, and gets served over now. Number 3 hits it. He's looking for, that was Diefenbach, but it will be in. So 10-9 now. Loyalist regains the lead. That's about the 4th lead change already.
And Karel Poirier de Guzman, another rookie coming out of Kingston for this Loyalist squad, and really having a huge impact, and great to see us again last year. Toby Archibald was the setter and one of the leaders for the Lancers. Not a gap that you can fill easily, but Toby Archibald on the bench for the Lancers as the Colts pick up the point.
There you go, back to 10-10, and now it is Cordero's turn to serve.
So it's over Sylvester. Poirier de Guzman tries to hit it back to Hill. Goes off a block. Lancers try playing it, but the ref is going to call the play dead on the 4th touch.
And there you go, 4 touches. So that will be a point for the Centennial Colts. And Cordero serving once again. Puts it in there with power and a little bit too much. Not enough height. There you go, tied at 11. Loyalist getting bailed out a little bit there. And now it's Hill's time to serve, second time of him serving today.
Yeah, Hill being an all-star was very shocking to not see him really play at all against the St. Lawrence Surge, but back in the starting lineup here against the Colts on a heavy serve. Cordero on the first touch. Doe puts it to the backside. Excuse me, that wasn't Cordero, that's Cordero now. And Hill goes running for it, but the initial touch that was quite solid there from Zioninovich.
Will be 12-11 for the visitors now as that goes way out.
Smilan Zioninovich off that first touch on that last play, now back to serve. Callahan just is putting it up. Poirier de Guzman is there.
Oh, beautiful.
And Colts all just kind of caught watching. We saw a step ahead from Cordero. Ultimately going to drop, but something we saw in the ladies game frequently too. Just have that one person that's going to commit no matter what. Westerman. Ball's over. Doe. Doler pushes it over. Poirier to Guzman. Back to Hill. Gets some crazy height on it. And Doe can't play it.
And there you go. Looked like it might have hit Rodriguez in the face there. Not sure, but maybe his hand blocked it. Not the ideal outcome he was looking for. Is number 13 now. Westerman goes to serve once again. And that is way out.
Yeah, I think we're up to about 4 or 5 missed serves from either team right now, and obviously not wanting that to lead the game. So we'll see if Michael Carapi can get it over. Heavy serve, Callahan's there for it. Going to be close side. Callahan gets received at the same time, but touch on the net. Crowd and bench goes wild. It's going to go favor the Colts.
Both benches into it quite early, making for a good game day atmosphere here. And here is number 10, Corapi, sending it. That will be far, so back to a tie ball game right now.
Getting these missed serves really just giving the other team a free point, but to an extent evening each other out. See where Diefenbach tries to go with it. Another spin serve, does get it over and popped up by Rodriguez. Doe goes straight side, block from the Lancers. Cordero gets set, just rolls it over. Sylvester on that first touch. Poirier de Guzman to Callahan, and Poirier de Guzman looking for Callahan almost on every single play on the far side.
It'll be 15-14 now after that nice point by Callahan there. He's having quite a good first set, and it'll be number 4 Diefenbach's turn to serve here. Sends it up, and that'll be in for an ace now, 16-14, and they'll call a timeout on the Centennial side. We'll be back in a minute.
Diefenbach serve, just off to the side.
One-point game now. Home team up by 1, 16-15, still in the first set here. First to 3 wins, of course, the possibility of 5 sets today. And up in the air, it's blocked by Rodriguez. On the first touch now, it's number 7 with the hit. That looks like it'll be in. Number 7, Delaware, tying it up.
Yeah, Delaware getting a good option and recognizing that back corner was open to place it, and does that. So that'll send Ryan Doe here. Quick serve over, and maybe should have taken a bit more time for it. And I think we're up to about 8 points decided from either squad on missed serves.
Yeah, it's a lot for sure.
Hill. Heavy touch, going to go to Doe right down the middle. Tuck pushes it over, nothing too heavy. Sylvester tries to set up Diefenbach, but Roof has other things to say about it. So Lucas Cordero, straight out of Kingston, and again in his rookie year. Callahan, Parade the Guzman back to Callahan. Callahan sees that block, so it doesn't swing too heavy. And that was the right call as it just bounces off and then out of bounds off the Colts player.
Yeah, very smart play by Callahan there. He's having one heck of a game. The MVP probably so far through a set and a half, and that was just a great play to use the momentum of the blockers against them and get the point there. So 14-9, they're 11 points away from taking a 2-set lead as the Centennial Colts are not going anywhere anytime soon, but Loyalist definitely the upper hand so far.
Again, yeah, for the Colts not wanting to go down by 2 sets would be preferred. As Zoe puts it up.
Oh.
To Zujinovic. Gonna grab that point. We'll see him back to serve.
Of course, we're in set 2. First to 3 sets, so possibility of 5 this afternoon.
Callahan with too much of a first touch. It goes straight to the side of the Colts, but Colts get called on a net violation even though it goes back to the side of Loyalist. Let him bring up Diefenbach.
15-10 now, sorry. And Diefenbach with the serve. He's getting set, and he sends it right to Rodriguez. The libero looking for something. And, oh, yeah, that definitely hit the floor. Number 12 going to get the point there. That's Nolan Tuck.
So Lancers team and Coach Jenkins there arguing with that call, saying that it didn't touch the floor. And, again, just trying to throw out a palm. But referee says that it is Nolan Tuck now with the serve. Sylvester puts it up to Poirier de Guzman. To Callahan. Puts a bigger swing on it, but Centennial does get a tip off that, and Delaware having to put it back over. Poirier de Guzman up to Callahan, and again, Callahan! Sheesh!
Yeah, he's having one heck of an afternoon. Liam Callahan all over the front of the court right now. And he's getting set to serve now. 16-11 for your Lancers.
Delaware on the first touch. Doe just tries to go for a center dump, but Hill recognizes that and is there for the block. Wow, Liam Hill is an all-star for a reason.
17-11 now after that one. And Loyalist firmly controlling this match for sure. Callahan going once again. And that's going to hit the net.
Sylvester. Parade de Guzman tries to go for the center dump. Ultimately it's picked up. Cordero's there. But the ref's going to say the Lancers didn't touch it on the block there. So maybe they have something to argue. They're going to say that Cordero just put it out of bounds. Rodriguez.
Oh. It looks like a lot of mental errors are really hurting the Centennial Colts right now.
Yeah, I mean, for one thing, though, the rafters playing the role bigly in that point. We'll see if the timeout can help the Colts at all. Lancers up 20-12. Cannon. Popped up by Zianovich, and Hill is there just to lay down the hammer. We're going to see a call that the head referee pointed to the side of the Lancers. The far side referee points over to the other side. Okay, so ultimately it does end up being the Loyalist point, which, again, the head referee pointed to the side of Loyalist. The far side referee pointed to Centennial.
Just a quick interjection here. We do apologize. We had it as 20-12 before the timeout. It was actually 19-12, and now the correct score is 20-12. Back to the game here.
Rodriguez to Delwar, who just needs to get it over, does so. Callahan sets it up, Poirier to Guzman. Having to set it back to Hill. Has to get some height and change the angle on it to get it in play, and does just that.
What a second set from the Lancers. Wow, came out swinging. Very aggressive, a lot more kills, going for a lot more power shots, and they've just been absolutely taking over this set so far. And here we go.
Cannon not able to get the serve in play.
Yeah, that was way too much power on that one.
Serves over Callahan, Berea to Guzman, up to Hill, and goes off that block, and there's going to be a call from the side referee that says that it did touch down. Hill went off the block, and it just drops, but was in play.
Yeah, it was beautiful by Cordero there. In the right place at the right time.
Delaware, heavy serve, deep in box, straight line, but Poirier de Guzman plays it to Hill. Callaghan keeps it alive till Sylvester. Hill with a second effort, and that block is repeatedly there between Paul and Cordero. And something we mentioned again, as soon as Paul came into the play, it did feel like a completely different vibe at that front of the net for the Colts.
Yeah, he's definitely a difference maker this afternoon. And now it's a 6-point game. Centennial's just clawing back, 21-16.
Delaware.
Oh, there it is.
See a substitution. Tyler Fitzpatrick coming in for the setter and Corel Poirier de Guzman. We'll see if it's just for the serve or if it's going to be a little bit longer, as again the Lancers do have just 3 points to go to take a 2-set lead. Rodriguez, Doe, back to Cordero. And he gives a point to Loyalist.
Fitzpatrick, another first-year player, definitely a strong serve there. And now they're 2 points away from taking a 2-set lead.
It's a good first serve from Fitzpatrick, coming in for the serve substitution. Gets the second one, Rodriguez to Doe. It was far side, Zianovich. It's a point off the block. Hill. Just over the net and going to drop for the ace to move the Lancers into 1 set away from taking the series and their second sweep of the season, if they can do so here against the Centennial Colts. My name is Steven Schill alongside John Strowski. We'll be back in just a moment. Back with the third set and potentially final set here as the referee's calling for both players to come for a chit-chat before we get things kicked off.
Yeah, and big first two sets for Callahan. He's probably one of the better players on this Loyalist team. A big couple sets, too, from a couple of the first years. Poirier to Guzman. And, oh, no, that's the only first year that had a big impact. And Liam Hill, he's a third year. He also had a big impact on this game as they're up 2 sets and made a few mistakes on the serving aspect of it, but able to reel it in as now it's Carroll's turn to serve.
Ray the Guzman. Serve comes through, popped up from the Colts. That's a new player in Trevor Way. Cordero goes off the block. Sylvester's able to play it. Correa, the Guzman. And the referee is going to say that there was, I believe, a net violation on the side of Loyalist. So point Colts.
1-0 now, and it's Deloire's turn to serve.
Definitely a couple of changes here for the Colts. We'll mention them as they're brought up. But Westerman goes into the block of Tuck and Cordero. And Hill on the other side trying to break through and unable to do so.
That's now 2 straight blocks for the Centennial Colts.
And Jacob Blaiston coming to check in on this third set for Liam Hill. Had a monstrous game. Delaware. Serve goes off the net, and the referee calls it out. Very, very close.
Now is number 12 going to serve. That is Jacob Blaiston.
Rodriguez puts it up. Sit there from Theum. Now it's Sylvester. Callahan sees that block that's there. Goes into it, but the referee gives the point to him. No extra signal, but the far side of referee is chatting with their team.
Tied at 2 now.
Rodriguez on the first tee. Way gets a swing, but again, and ref says it's 4 touches against the Colts.
They've been doing that a couple times this game, and Loyalist will take it for sure. Set up the guard really easily. And quick stop in the action, but looks like we're set now.
Blaiston. Way puts it up to him on the far side. Cordero. And then a lot of these plays are manifesting based off of errors, or I think you're not supposed to be doing, versus just clean kills, service aces, or any of the above. Other team able to get a clean start to this third set. As Sylvester bobbles the serve and counted as an ace for Nolan Tuck.
That'll be Tuck's first ace of the game, and will take the lead for the Colts. First time they've had the lead in a while.
Tuck on the serve, misses it.
And back to a tie game.
The 1 ace, 1 error is what they call it.
Of course, Loyalists up 2-0, and they're able to get it. They will get this set, rather. They will win in straight sets.
Westerman off the tip, goes way back, and the back basketball net plays a part in it.
And Loyalist regains the lead. They've probably been leading for about 80% of this game. They've looked almost dominant. That first game, it was pretty tightly contested, but that second game, once they were able to rein in, they were able to win pretty easily there.
Rodriguez, Tiem, says Delwar. Ricochet off the net. But point for the Lancers. I mean, to that point, something that we saw like within the St. Lawrence game, and obviously we only get as many home games as we do, but this men's team definitely surprised me. In the terms of like last year, we have almost the whole roster in returning players, minus a couple two, and some great rookie additions. And this team is looking mighty fine. Not wanting to jinx anything, but does feel like absolutely poised for a playoff run if Loyalist ends up playing this well throughout the season that we've seen in these 2 home games so far.
Absolutely. They've been fantastic today, and Cordero's getting set.
Misses the serve.
It's been a lot of. You got to imagine though, this won't be happening in January and February when these teams are a little more polished. A lot of errors from Centennial today, and we're very surprised to see that.
Diefenbach now back at the line.
7-5.
Again, Lancers actually with quite a rookie-heavy lineup out on the floor right now with Sylvester, Poirier, de Guzman, Blakeson, and Diefenbach. Only two players aren't, in Callahan and Cannon.
And now a 1 point set here, 7-6 for the Lancers.
Trevor Way, Blakeson. Poirier, de Guzman over to Cannon, and a diving effort. Oh my goodness, Tiem puts it back over, but the referee says that the ball hit the floor. Centennial fighting for it and saying it did, but again, it was kind of the same play that happened a couple moments ago for Loyalist, where the ball, referee said dropped, and the player said, nope, we got a hand on it. Guess they even out. Lancers up 8-6. It's Callahan with another spinner serve. Heavy through. Rodriguez on the first touch. Tiem puts it up to Paul. Tiem having to play it again. Way now sets it back of him in Cordero. Callahan. Poirier, de Guzman to Diefenbach. Way sends it straight back to Loyalist. They're able to set it up, but Callahan gives him a freebie. So Tiem puts it up to Delwar. That's a windmill spin. Way. Tiem up to Paul. Tried to wait for the last second before hitting that and does so. Tiem again to Cordero. Has to just knuckle it over. Callahan down the middle. Poirier, de Guzman over to Blakeson. Swings on it, but the block is there, and the Lancers go back, and they end up getting the point. Wow, what a rally. Ends up changing his tune here, and now saying that the point goes to Centennial on the fourth touch. So a little bit of chaos, I guess, on that one. And that was an unbelievable rally nonetheless.
Absolutely unbelievable. It's unfortunate for the Lancers that they have to get rid of a point there and miss out on taking a 2-point lead, but that was just beautiful. They were able to bend and not break for the most part, able to set up a lot of great blocks, and here's Paul with the serve.
Sylvester puts it straight up. Poirier, de Guzman right down the middle. Cannon's there, but able to keep it alive. The second time, Blakeson reaches up to get it. Now Tiem over to Cordero. Callahan keeps it alive. They just end up tapping it over as Poirier, de Guzman. Tiem on the net, goes for a center dump, but Callahan there a second time, and the block is there against Tiem. Oh my goodness. On the far side is Cordero again. Callahan. Poirier, de Guzman back to Diefenbach in that left hand and get the ricochet off. Wow. Again, these rallies back to back here are fun to watch.
Nine to 7 now. 2-point lead regained for the Lancers. Absolutely what they wanted there.
Cannon on the serve. Rodriguez puts it up. Going to be fight right at the net. Blakeson able to put it to the side. Rodriguez there. Another fight at the net. Tiem's able to keep it. Now Rodriguez has got to dump it over. Going to be a close call. Diefenbach's there. Poirier, de Guzman goes to the far side, and Blakeson goes off the block. And point Centennial.
Centennial was motioning like it was their point. They saw it from a mile away.
So we'll see Usman Tiem. Again at 6'5", listed as a setter, coming in this third set. Traditionally don't have as many super tall setters within this league, but doing it quite well as Tiem touches it to Cordero, but the referee calls a net violation, I think, on Tiem. And he's arguing with it.
Yeah, it was definitely on Tiem given his reaction, and you're taking that if you're on the Loyalist side every day. Another mistake from the Centennial Colts, which will lead to points for the Lancers.
So Poirier, de Guzman. Wade takes it, Tiem sets it up to Cordero and puts that in the net. And one thing that we've seen is Cordero hasn't had the same kind of umph that we've seen within that first set. And we're going to see a timeout on the floor for the Colts. Lancers up 11-8 in potentially this third and final set.
And we're back here. Steve and John with the call again, 11-8. Loyalist 2-0.
Corel Poirier de Guzman back serving. Again, momentum seeming to be in Loyalist's favor, but Centennial going into this third set with a different lineup. The serve's over. Rodriguez plays it tuck. Cordero. That's for just a too heavy-handed shot, but Diefenbach's there. Tiem running into the wall, able to keep it alive for a second, but the roof giving an assist to Loyalist.
Yeah, like what you said about momentum, Steve, I think it's been all Loyalist after that first set, man. Like, the crowd's really come alive, and they've been able to feed off it, and they've been fantastic, really capitalizing on Centennial's errors. Now 12-8.
Ready to Guzman, serves over. Rodriguez able to take it. Tiem sets it up to the backside. Delaware doesn't go off the block and just out. Credit to the men in white with the point.
And this is definitely encouraging for Loyalists to have a big year this year. They've played fantastic all afternoon.
Well, short serve. Tuck takes that first. Tiem up to Cordero, goes off the block. And nice time there. Don't always have to hit the ball as hard as possible. Just recognizing that block's going to be up there and hitting off that wall. Going to drop out of bounds. So point for Centennial here, as again, Loyalist is still at a pretty solid lead here late in the third. Delwar misses the serve.
And now 15-9. Loyalists could be 10 points away from ending this one, going for an early shower and enjoying the rest of their Saturday night on this Blue Jays Saturday. Call looks like it might be disputed. Okay, the correct score is now 14-9, and we are getting set with the serve Loyalist.
Tiem over to Way. Sylvester. Cordero back to Diefenbach. Gets the point.
Yeah, and Rodriguez, he felt that. You could see his face. That did not feel good. Hit his forearm with a monster kill there by Diefenbach.
Langston. Rodriguez. Tiem diving for it. Rodriguez is getting over, trying to put it to the back end of the court there. Right down the middle. Westerman and Delaware can't play it.
A little bit of a miscommunication with that was Delaware and Rodriguez. Both of them kind of not in the right place, and Loyalists will capitalize. 7-point game.
Langston. Rodriguez. Tiem. Back to Cordero. And off that block, Lance is credited with the point. Definitely fast-paced game. Seems like we're flying through it. Lance is getting their motion late. Rodriguez. Tiem up to Way. And the block is there, but Rodriguez is right behind it. They're still trying to play it, but Lance is credited with the point.
18-9. Got to feel bad for Rodriguez taking a couple bumps consecutively.
We'll see Kian Titus now check in for Loyalist. This Lancer bench definitely has some talent on it as we see Callahan check in after having a monster game.
Would be a big win for the Lancers, man, if they're able to pull this off in straight sets.
Delwar, Tiem, Cordero. Lancers aren't able to get the block on it, but Diefenbach having to reach sky high for it. Delaware, Tiem, down the middle, Tuck just swings. Sylvester, Diefenbach.
And this is the biggest lead the Lancers have had all afternoon, 10-point lead. And Centennial, rightfully so, taking a timeout. We'll be back in a minute.
Coming off that timeout from Jordan Timpson. Trying to keep the Colts into this one. Blakeson with the serve. Rodriguez puts it up to him. Back behind him to Cordero. Blakeson's able to play it. Westerman's there for it. The ref's just going to call the play dead before Loyalist is able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and Centennial really needed that point there. They were on a pretty long streak of not scoring, so you really needed that to stay in the game here and try to force another set.
6'7", Nolan Tuck from Hamilton on that serve. Parachuk on that first touch. Going to be Titus. And that block from Cordero and Paul. Titus having, again, just checked in. Maybe not as used to having to deal with that wall as Callahan has throughout this. We'll see if Titus plays it a little bit different moving forward. It's Tuck on the serve. Parachuk reaches. Diefenbach. Paul in the air. Delwar gets off the net there. A little bit of confusion on who was going to take that on the side of the Colts. Ultimately, they get the point, but they're all kind of looking at each other wanting to clarify on how they're going to play that the next time around. Tuck. Parachuk. Over to Titus again, not with that heavy swing, just getting over that block. Delaware puts it up to Way. Way goes off that block. Tuck is right behind him to deal with it. Behind him, Cordero gets the kill.
And there it is. The momentum's changing. Couple quick points for the Colts, and it feels like they're right back in it.
Parachuk. We're to Guzman to Diefenbach. And Diefenbach just doesn't miss those.
And now 5 points away from going home in straight sets. And here is Westerman.
Delaware on that first touch. Tiem over to Paul. Able to score that point.
And now you're only within 6. If you're on the Colts side, you're loving this right now.
Lucas Cordero. Titus. Parachuk. Cordero going off that block. Parachuk's able to handle that on that first touch, and Diefenbach again goes into that big block on the front line from the Colts. And really, the only thing that's stopping the Lancers here is seemingly that wall. So again, obviously they're going back and forth with trying to find an opening, but if they're struggling here late with that wall, maybe trying to find different opportunities to attack.
Yeah, you got to stop going back to the well eventually. You got to change it up.
Off the net, Blakeson able to play it. Going to be set up to Titus on a flick. Delwar to Way. Tries to go in the backcourt. Blakeston's there. Poirier de Guzman to Diefenbach. Puts it into the net.
Oh, wow. A lot of fight here from the Centennial Colts. That's 7 of the last 8 points going the way of Centennial. And Loyalist uses a timeout.
Five points for the Lancers to get the sweep. 4 points for Centennial to tie it up here in the third. Cordero on the serve. Blakeson on the first touch. Poirier de Guzman goes down the middle to Cannon. Centennial able to play it for a second. Cordero trying to paint that back corner and going to do just that. So the timeout for Loyalist doesn't put a halt to this run from Centennial.
Yeah, that was placed perfectly, an absolute dot, and just not what you want if you're Loyalist. You still have a timeout remaining, but you went from a 10-point lead to a 3-point lead. This is just the nature of the sport. But
Chris Jenkins pulling out Kean Titus for Callahan again, who's had a major game on the Serve is going to miss, so Loyalist getting a freebie.
That's a big bailout for the Lancers. That's a big bailout.
Big bailout.
So now you have the momentum kind of in your favor. You calm down, get a few points, and get out of this one.
Diefenbach. Serve over Rodriguez on the first touch. Team putting it up to Paul. Wants to get the block on Parachuk. We get the Guzman back to Diefenbach. Gets him high, but the block again is there from Centennial.
Huge third set from the big man, Joel Paul. Here we go, 3-point game.
Trevor Way. Cannon. Parade the Guzman. Back to Callahan. Recognize that block's going to be there, so there's a nice little tip, but Centennial's time to answer. They're having to swing for it. Parachuk is there, and wow. Centennial not going down without a fight.
Yeah, you don't like this if you're Loyalist, that's for sure. And now number 8 is going to be serving again, Trevor Way. One of the many first years. Another big first year. Joel Paul has just been an absolute game changer this set.
Chris Shakin was trying to bring in Liam Hill, but the referee's not going to allow it, and maybe not that big of a deal as the serve is missed on the side of the Colts.
And those errors are just killing the Colts, man. Like, that's 2 of the last 3 points for the Lancers have been by way of bad serves. So Callahan, their best server, is up. You could hear a pin drop.
So it's over and good. Delaware on that first touch. Team setting them back up. A little bit of an awkward way to approach that, so just taps it over. Now Callahan trying to dump it in the far side. Team now back to Paul, who just swings at it, but too heavy of a touch. And momentum suddenly swinging back in favor of Loyalist.
Absolutely, and if Centennial's going to make the errors themselves, just let them do it. That was just too much power there. And Loyalist setting up the wall perfectly there. Callahan once again.
Heavy serve comes through. Rodriguez pops it up. Team goes running for it. Going to be set up to Delaware. He gets all the height in the world on it, but the block is there. Centennial trying to keep it alive, but ref's going to call the play dead for a net violation, I believe.
That was 100% the right call, I think.
And we're going to see the Lancers here.